What does a lightsaber, magnifying glass, and magic wand all have in common? They all show you who the character is. Magic wands show you that the character is a magician. A magnifying glass tells you that the person is a detective. Characters wielding a lightsaber show you that they are a Jedi or Sith. Lightsabers have a complex history that is entangled with the wielder's past. They can be used for important story beats that shape the character's destiny. Lightsabers are a perfect example for today's topic. In this video, I'm going to be making a character, but not only that, I'm going to show you how props can be a key factor in visual storytelling and enhance the immersion of your personas. The character I'm designing today is a gypsy merchant located in my fictional world of Exodus. They come from the Chakma Empire of the Bengal people. The Bengali are a race of tiger people inspired by cultures found in the ancient Indian subcontinent. If you want to know more about the Bengal people, check out my world building video. Now that we know the general direction of this character design, let's jump right into the mood board I created. So when I was creating the mood board, I was putting in the references that I had saved when I was creating just the general mood board for the Bengal people. If you want to have a more in-depth look as to why I chose these references in particular, you can definitely check out my previous world building video that I did where I was talking about the Bengal people when I was bringing them up originally. But when I was doing in these references, I really wanted to capture the mood and aesthetic of the Bengal people. And while I was doing it, I noticed a lot that the lanterns, the textiles, and the pottery stayed consistent throughout all of the references. And since I was designing a merchant, I knew that I wanted textiles and pottery to be a main asset and a main prop in his character design. So while I was saving these references, I paid close attention to how the textiles were and how they were displayed and how the patterns vary from social class to social class, and how the pots are also displayed and how they differ in size and shape depending on the detail that is put within them. But I wanted to show you guys what was in my thought process while I was looking at these references and what stood out to me to include in a gypsy merchant character design. So here we have the actual pot concept art that I did, and as I said previously in the mood board section, I wanted to capture the difference in shape and design between the different social classes, so I wanted to make sure that that was consistent here as well. So you can see on the top row, those are obviously lesser class than the ones on the bottom row that have more colors, different textures, and the designs are more intricate. So actually talking about the designs, let's take a look at the designs. In the one here in the bottom with the blue and gold, those little swirls, I wanted to represent raindrops because the rain, I wanted it to be very important to their religion, because obviously since they live in the desert, rain is very essential to their lifestyle. So I wanted to have that shown in their artistry and show how much they appreciate rain and how much of an integral part it is to their lifestyle, with it being literally integrated in their pottery that is located in the highest of social classes. And then the part where it starts funneling upwards, I wanted that pink little bud to be a lotus flower, because in this empire, lotus flowers signify water as well, because they're found on waters and lakes. And if we look at the next one over, the purple and gold one, I wanted this one to represent cosmic rings, because astrology and the study of the sky is a key factor of their religion. So I wanted to make sure that that as well was found in their artistry and in their patterns that they use within the empire. So for this design, I kind of wanted to take a more artistic choice with it instead of it being completely faithful to how solar system rings look like in real life. I wanted to take a bit of a more artistic approach to kind of create a more unique design. If we look at the next one over, it's a lotus flower, and then you have some purple, blue, and green to signify peacock colors, because the peacock is a very important symbol to the Bengali as it represents abundance and wealth. And the next one over really emphasizes that peacock with the literal peacock feather jewelry that is hanging from the top of the pot. And peacocks, they don't only represent wealth, but they also represent power and grace grace and beauty. So I wanted to make sure that those personality traits were reflected on the pottery and artistry that is located within the Bengal Empire. And the next one over is one of my personal favorites, is a very long vase. I wanted this one to have like a stained matte glass texture and have constellations actually engraved in the glass itself. And then on the top you also have the little swirls representing rainfall, and seeing that connection with astrology, knowing that rain comes from the sky, how that plays in and how that all connects into their religion. And then this one is a lotus flower, but it's not exactly a pot, it's more of a vase that you would trickle water out from with the little nozzle, kind of like a watering can, but a very fancy watering can.
Only Paolo can take this and give you
a princess.
And for the higher, richer social classes, I really wanted to exaggerate some shapes and play around with the silhouette that these pots will cast. The ones in the lower class here in the top row, I wanted it to be an extension and a simplification of the designs from the ones in the higher class. So here you have those cosmic rings, and it's similar to this wider orange terracotta pot with those cosmic rings as well. And here I wanted the teardrop shape to replicate the shape of the peacock feather with the design. And here I wanted to experiment with creating a pot that is in the shape of an elephant head, because elephants are a key factor in their culture and in their religion. So I really wanted to make sure that having it in the pots of a lower class, because that can be literally everywhere, I wanted that to represent how much of the elephant, how much of their religion is entangled with the everyday life of the Bengali. So that's the pots, and I'm really honestly quite happy with how they came out, but I hope you guys enjoy these pot designs. In this concept art, I was creating some textiles and some carpets for the housing in the empire, and I wanted to further incorporate the designs that I was talking about previously in the pots into the carpets and how they would look like in the carpets. So in this one over here is the cosmic rings, and I wanted that design to be really clear, but I also wanted it to be a lot more simplified because this is pertaining to the lower class, and I wanted the texture to be very noticeable, and I think I was able to honestly succeed in that, and I'm really happy with how the texture came out because I really feel like you can see it clearly and you know how it feels. And I wanted it to be different from the middle class, which is here, how you see the middle class looks a lot softer than the lower class. I also wanted the details and the designs within the middle class to be a lot more complex because you're going to pay a bit more money for it. And here in the higher class, the texture is a lot softer than the lower class. You have the big lotus flower that is there in the center, and then behind it you have cosmic rings that contain shapes within that fade out into that yellow color that is at the base of the design. And you have the moons on the top and the suns on the bottom to further emphasize the astrology in this design. And I also wanted the cosmic rings to be a constant between all the different designs and social classes of the Bengal Empire. And also in this higher class one, I wanted to play around with the textures more and not just have it as that carpety texture, but play around with some flatter fabrics here on the top where it has the little loops on the top, some more metallics with the little charms that are on the corners of the carpet, and some more glossier, softer, plasticky textures that are the actual gold cosmic rings and have that be shiny, so it not only stands out in the design but also in the different textures that are in the carpet. So yeah, those are the designs that I did for the carpets. So let's see how the pots concept art and the textile concept art all come together to form a character design for a merchant who specializes in pots and artistry. Before we continue with the video, I wanted to let you guys know that my commissions are now open. Simply email me at any time for questions or concerns regarding commission work. My email is cjstarlight1c29@gmail.com. That's cjstarlight1c29@gmail.com. You can also find my email in the description of this video and in my channel bio. I specialize in character design, thumbnails, portraits, stickers, concept art, and landscapes. The commission process is very quick and easy. Simply email me at cjstarlight1c29@gmail.com and I will get back to you with a couple questions and 2 easy to fill forms for clear communication. Obviously, there are some ground rules like no inappropriate artwork, USD only, and no refunds. But other than that, I would be elated to bring your ideas to life. Email me at cjstarlight1c29@gmail.com for a commission today. So this is the character design that I was able to come up with the mood board, the pots, and the carpet concept art that I created, and I am so happy with how this all came out. I think the personality was able to come across really well with the smirk and how he's just tossing the coins. It shows that he is really wealthy and he makes a good profit off of selling these pots and carpets. And talking about the pots and carpets, I feel like it really enforces that he is a merchant, and that the pots and the carpets having such exotic colors within them, it also really enforces how much profit he makes. And I feel like that is really emphasized by the little coins that are literally attached to his clothing, which is so like pretentious, but I think it really helps in telling us that his character is very snobby, very arrogant, and I am honestly just so happy with that. And I think it represents the gypsies so well with the different colors and everything, and the peacock feathers, how I was able to incorporate it into the design and have it be harmonious with the colors that it reflects on the pots, but also the belt that he has along his waist. And I know you can't really see it, but you can see a little bit with that green and that little crest that is in the middle. So talking about the crest, let's talk about that a little bit more. And this emblem is the merchant's crest, and I wanted it to signify who they are and how they are represented even without the pottery and the carpets. Well, although they help a ton in telling us that they are a merchant, you know, they're not going to be walking around with pots and carpets on their arms all the time, you know, their arms are gonna get tired. But even without the pots and the carpets, the emblem tells us that this character is part of the Merchants Association with the merchant's crest, because that crest is obviously very specific to the gypsies and the merchants. And I kind of wanted that to be similar with how the Jedi and Sith have their lightsabers. Like, you see a lightsaber on a Jedi or Sith and you know that they are force wielders and they're trained to use a lightsaber. So that being a key factor of their character design in telling us who they are, I kind of wanted that to be similar to the merchant's crest in the gypsies, how they can be walking along the streets or trading with people and you see that crest and you know that they belong to that organization of traders and merchants across the world, you know. So it's key factor of the design and what it represents. And let's look at the more symbolic representation of the emblem. And you have the flower design that is located in the direct middle of the emblem. Is, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but it is the Adinkara alphabet symbol. I don't really know how to pronounce the name, so I'll put the name on the screen, but it symbolizes wealth and prosperity. I didn't want to directly take this design and put it in. I wanted my design to be a more inspired take on it, but the meaning behind the symbol still stays the same. So this merchant crest signifies wealth and prosperity, and that combines together to represent the Merchants Association in whole, as they are built off of money. And then in the back you have that moon to stay consistent with all the different orders within this Bengal Empire. But now that we brought up the Merchants Association, let's take just a deeper understanding of how they operate, who they are, and let's just take a little peek into the Merchants Association. The Merchants Association is the third of 4 orders that make up the Chakma Empire. The Merchants Association specialize in money lending and profits off of artistry with international trading and selling. As the order that brings the most profit, they've grown to hold some power over the financial say and events that take place within the empire. The Merchants Association are represented by the peacock, symbolizing their pride, power, grace, and wealth. Since the Gypsies are wealthy citizens, the Bengali has developed a peacock superstition that those who wear their feathers will receive wealth in abundance. Knowing this, the Merchants Association adopted the green, blue, and yellow color scheme of the bird for their visual image. You can see this in their crest. Other than that, purple and pink fabrics signify wealth and privilege. This is seen best in the Gypsies' clothing, especially with the coins attached. Designing this character was so much fun, especially coming up with the stories behind each prop and clothing piece. I hope you guys enjoy this character design in the same way that I do. Not only that, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it engaging. Don't forget to check out my commissions if you're interested. Simply email me at cjstarlight1c29@gmail.com about any ideas you want me to draw. All the music and credits will be found with links in the description below. I also wanted to let you guys know that I'm not a professional character designer and I'm still learning things as I go. This video is just a documentation of what I learned, and if it helps you guys, then that's awesome. Other than that, have a blessed time zone and I'll see you guys in the next one.